You're listening to the Finchwood Discipleship Podcast. My name is Matthew, and as your host, my mission is to help you discover who God is and what it means to live as a citizen of His kingdom. Greetings, Finchwood. How you doing? Before we really get started with the couple of announcements that I have for this mini episode, I do want to apologize for the quality of the audio that you're hearing. I am getting over a bit of a head cold. You could probably hear it in the sound of my voice. That's actually part of why you're getting this instead of your regularly scheduled episode, which was supposed to be about how to find and join a church. I believe it's supposed to be Season 3, Episode 4. But anyway, I'm just giving you this announcement because I've got two little changes that I want to make to the way that the podcast is produced and released to you. And I wanted to let you know about those so that you don't get any surprises. The first announcement is that I'm going to be doing a little bit less editing on the episodes that I produce in the future. My process so far in creating this podcast has been to record everything twice, and then painstakingly meld together, even splicing syllables inside of words, to get the best possible version of each moment in the podcast. And that process takes like 10 hours for a 20-minute episode, and so that's not really sustainable. I do have a wife and a house and ministry that I am involved in real life, and a full-time job that I'm working, so it's kind of gotten to the point where I can't continue to do that level of detail. So what you're going to get instead is you might hear me say a few times, and you might hear me go, oh wait, I forgot to tell you about X, Y, and Z, and then I'll tell you about X, Y, and Z. And hopefully that will be okay. I honestly expect all of you to be both gracious and smart enough to really be able to keep up with that level of a change. That's kind of the minor announcement. The other announcement is that I plan to go to a bi-weekly release schedule instead of once a week. So far, for Finchwood, I've tried to keep up with releasing a new episode every Friday, hopefully at 6 a.m., but it hasn't always been that way. Going forward, my new plan is to release a new episode every other Friday, usually the second and fourth Fridays of every month, because then we don't have to deal with any what do we do with the fifth Friday, those kinds of questions. That gets weird. So, second and fourth Fridays, that's when you should expect new episodes, and as luck would have it, this announcement is being released on a third Friday, so on the fourth Friday of this month, which is January, you should see that new episode coming. Anyway, also I'm going to release this as part of Season 1, so if you're listening to it in season order, you're just going to get the announcement, and then you're going to go into Season 2, and that's just the way it's going to be. Anyway, I hope that works. I hope that none of you get offended. If you do hate the audio quality from now on, if you do have points where you're like, this is kind of grating on my nerves, do feel free to drop me a line about that so I can get some real feedback. Up to this point, I don't know that anyone will care, but if I do get a lot of feedback, I will once again step up a little bit on the editing value. Anyway, that's about all I have for this week. I do hope to see you next week, and meanwhile, you have a good one. All right. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the Finchwood Discipleship Podcast, conversations for people who want to be more like Jesus. If you enjoyed this episode, then please subscribe now and consider sharing it with your friends. For more information about this episode's topic, or to continue the discussion, please consult the show notes. See you next time.